welcome back. We're going to be working on the roadbed, which is the top of our bridge today. So this is a roadbed, even though no cars drive on it, that's what we're going to call it, or a road deck. And it's essentially newsboard. So it's like cardboard, but without the corrugation. It's just like a solid piece of material, pretty strong, and it's going to create a good connection between the two sides as they dry and we're ready to assemble them together. So once we've assembled the first side and the second side, we're going to make this. It's going to become like kind of the third side of our bridge, and then once they're all prepared and all dry, we can start talking about assembly. So I'm going to prepare this. To do that, I've got a pencil, I've got a triangle, and I've got my bridge, which is down here. So I'm going to flip the camera so you can see what's going on. All right, so so this was the side that I was working on with the gusset plates when I saw you last. So I'm going to take all of these pins out because they're all done now. There's a bell. It's not our bell.
That's it. I'm out of here.
Don't leave me. All right. And I want to leave this side of my bridge on here still because I haven't done the gusset plates just yet. Even though it's dry, I want to leave it. So I'm just going to take my X-Acto knife or my razor blade, and I am going to cut the wax paper here, just get it loose so I can have the two sides totally separate. It doesn't matter if I rip the wax paper. I just want to make sure my bridge itself stays safe. And I'm going to just move this out of the way because all I really need is this. So like I said, it doesn't matter if we rip the wax paper. I'm just going to peel all of this off now. So away it goes. Okay, and I'm just going to throw all of that out. Now, I do have the option, if I choose, to, now that it's off the wax paper, to put gusset plates on both sides of my bridge. I'm not sure if I'll decide to do that or not yet. But right now, I just have the gusset plates on one side of my bridge. But I do sometimes decide to put it on both sides. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. So I'm going to leave it as is right now. So the reason that I need this separate is because I need this to be able to kind of fold around it. So I need to figure out the shape of it. So I have this beam that's right in the dead center of my bridge, and then I've got the hole that's punched in the card. So I want to try to line these up the best that I can. And even if these edges don't look like they're the same, I want this to line up with the center of my bridge. So if one side comes down a little further than the other, I'm not really concerned about that. I'm more concerned about this being in the middle. So I'm just going to take my pencil and I'm going to mark both sides right where the corner begins. And I'm just going to put that off to the side now. And I'm going to grab my triangle, and I'm using the edge of the triangle with the edge of the cardboard, and I'm putting it right on the mark, and I'm going to hold this down really tight, and I'm just going to fold this up to create a little crease. Then I'm going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side. Just want to move the glue so I don't knock it. Okay, I want to make sure that I'm lined up with the edge of the cardboard because I don't want this to be crooked. And then I'm just going to fold that up. And I've got the shape that I want. And I'm just going to grab my my bridge half and just kind of test it out. See how it looks. Okay. It's pretty good. So I'm happy with that. Again, I'm going to just put this off to the side for now. Now there's another thing that I'm going to do to get this thing ready, and that is cutting out spacers. So spacers do just like what they sound like. They maintain the space between the two sides of the bridge. Now I've got a beam, and if the side of my bridge was glued on, it would take up this much room on both sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a little stripe just right near the edge. I don't have to do the whole thing. And I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Okay, and that's going to represent where the two sides of my bridge would get glued to this piece of cardboard. Now I'm going to cut the spacers out of this material, the same material that I've been working with this whole time. So let me get my razor blade, and I'm going to actually use this mark that I just created as a little ruler. So I'm going to kind of line that up, slice it, make sure it fits. Okay, I actually went a little bit too big, so I'm going to just trim a little bit off. A little helpful hint that I know I've said to some of you, you could always take more off. You could always trim extra off or slice a little bit more off, but you can never stretch out the board and make it bigger. So when in doubt, cut it too big and then trim it so it fits. All right, so that fits. And I'm just going to keep doing the same thing. And I want to cut out 4 of these. Okay. So those are going to become my spacers. And basically what I want to do is I just want to put them on here in an even way. I don't want them to get in the way. So this is the one spot I do not want to put it. I can't put a spacer right down the middle because the hole that's drilled in this is actually there for a reason. It's so the tester can hang the weights through the center of the bridge. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little blob of glue on here. And I'm going to place, whoa, dropped it. I'm going to place this right next to the hole. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball it so I've got an even space on both sides. And I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side because everything we've been doing, we've been trying to make symmetrical. So I want to do this and keep it symmetrical as well. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And now I've got 2 more. So I want to put one of these on each of the angles as well. And I don't want to put it right in the corner where I folded it because it might get in the way. That might become annoying. So I'm going to put this kind of near the end, just like that. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. All right, so I've got my 4 spacers. I've got my bridge folded. I've got my roadbed folded, so it'll fit my bridge. And this thing just needs to dry now. So I'm just gonna leave that there and let it dry. Okay, so I've got one side of my bridge with the gusset plates done. It's drying. I've got my roadbed done. It's drying. I still have to put gusset plates on the side 2 of my bridge. And then once it's all dry, I'm ready to start thinking about assembly. All right, I'll see you next time.